Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. I want to say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that surely rule well, and salutation to the brothers that pushing this work out here in sincerity and in truth. You know, the two brothers from Trinidad, we come to break a little bread. You know, and the title of this video is basically counsel. You know, you can't, sometimes you might think you could make a decision on your own, but really and truly, we ought to seek counsel in dealing with a lot of things, you know, whether it be good or whether it be bad. You know, you have to seek counsel, you get a little enlightening because sometimes you might be dealing with a situation and, you know, you might see it from one aspect. And next brother might see it from a different aspect because if somebody pop up a bottle or something, like we say a radio, somebody pop a radio and three of us on three different places and we watching the same radio, you know, we might see three different angles at the radio. What that brother seen and what this brother seen, the next brother mightn't be seeing that. You know, so counsel is a good thing. So we'll start with Sirach 41 and 21.
So, 41.
And 21.
Right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 41, and verse 21. And it says, and to turn away the face from thy kinsman, or to take away a portion or a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife. Is it?
No, wrong precept. Ecclesiasticus 41 and what is that? Salakia, let me start with 2 Samuel 12 and 1.
Second
No
Samuel.
precept to write only, no?
2 Samuel.
12 and 1.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 12, and verse 1. All the commandments which I command, and Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him, and with his children. It did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd, to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb, and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as Yahweh liveth, the man that had done this thing shall surely die.
Yeah, so, you know, David was, as the scripture says, he was angered greatly. You know, that anger kindled in his heart against that man, right? Not knowing that man is he himself, right? Go ahead.
And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith Yahweh, power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul, and I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things.
Yes, it wasn't the most I saying basically would not hold back nothing. He'd have gave him, you know, wherever he had desire. Right? But this is just to show you that you know, you could be high up, but as that why the Most High said it, that we are the priests, prophets, and king. We had to keep one another in check. We had to we need our counsel. You ain't you're never too big, too high up to get a counsel, to get a rebuke. That chastening. You know. Give me the Exodus 18.
Exodus chapter 18 and
13. Yeah, you never too big. We always need our counsel. The Most High, as he's saying in the scripture, he alone really don't need counsel. And he is still, yeah, son? Yeah.
Exodus chapter 18 and verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone? And all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening. And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of Yahweh. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of Yahweh and his laws.
Yeah. So Jethro, which was Moses' father-in-law, saw that he needed counsel. He needed somebody to show him, to tell him, that, hey, this is too much a great burden to bear upon your own self for one man alone. It's just we all need a counsel. We all need a intervention. And Jethro, by the way, was a Midianite, right? Counsel is something, it's lawful, it's good. Sometimes you might think you're doing the right thing, and you might think the decision you make right, but when our next brother, give you that counsel and show you things from a different aspect, you might say, you might turn and say, because you might lay judgment without getting counsel, and you might tell yourself you do the right thing, and then, hey, when you watch back, hey, remember we had to deal with the scripture. The scripture applies to all of us, and the scripture say, as the scripture said, if I just paraphrasing, hurt none of these little ones, you'll be like a millstone hang wrong and I can throw into the sea. So we have to be careful. It's something we have to be careful. We have to be treading, lightly, because it's the Lord's house. There's no way when you do it, as the scripture said, when you do anything to any brother, you basically do it unto Yahweh Shai. So if you do something good, you do it unto Yahweh Shai. If you do something bad as well, you do it unto Yahweh Shai. Right? Thank you. Give me give me 1 Kings 22 and 19.
1 Kings chapter 22 and verse 19. And it says, And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And Yahweh said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?
Yeah, they having a council in the heavens, right? So as the scripture say, so above, so below. So they having counsel in the heavens. The Most High don't need that. You bring that scripture just now, but the Most High don't need no counsel. But look what going on in the heavens here. That's an example for us. Go ahead.
Right. And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
Yeah, so that council that was in the heavens, it was basically showing you that, hey, we ought to be council as well. You know, it's not, we can't, no man is an island, right? No man is an island.
It says here,
Right?
now therefore, behold, Yahweh had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh had spoken evil concerning thee.
Right. So, hey, the point in the what we bring in is that had a council in heaven, right? And that is where we ought to be doing. We ought to be taking even as I said before, whether it be good or whether it be for whether it be for good or whether it be for bad. You know, because even in our council, the scripture say if something happen, you bring 2 or 3 witnesses. You know, you must have form a council because, hey, remember, you could tell yourself you make a decision, you could tell yourself, hey, it's all good with it. But when you check back, it might be, hey, you might be going off. Because you do it on your own and you understand, you ain't seek counsel. Counsel is basically a necessity. You know, for we to give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 42 and 21.
Chapter 42 and 21.
Can.
Ecclesiasticus, which is the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 21.
Because we not read before that had a council in the heavens, right? But go ahead.
He had garnished the excellent works of his wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto him may nothing be added, neither can he be diminished, and he had no need of any counselor.
Yeah, that is the most high. You have no need of any counsel. Yahweh Hashem Yoshai don't need no counsel. You know, but yet still, there's counsel going on in the heavens. You know what I mean? Because he basically gave them the play. That's what going on. He allowing them to, you know, hold the position. Right? So counsel is a necessary thing. First Maccabees 8 and 15.
First Maccabees.
8 and 15.
First Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 15. And it says, moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered.
Yeah, so there was counsel for the people that they may be well ordered. Because even in these carnal kingdoms, you know, they had to, for the laws, for legislation and all these things, they had to have a council. You know, it had to be met for the what is called in America, no, the laws that does make that because the Fourth Amendment and you could when you go into these things, you know, it's a body of men come together and look at all aspects of the things and how, you know, and to write these laws. You know, you always need counsel. Counsel is nothing wrong with counsel. You know, because when you take things on your own, I think you only see it from your aspect. Even in this carnal kingdom, if a policeman wife get killed, they wouldn't allow he to go and investigate the matter because emotions will come in and he mightn't, you understand? He go break the law. Due to emotion, you just need these There's need his counsel for everything to make sure that read over that scripture.
First Maccabees chapter 8 and verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people.
Yeah, they consulted also the people. Right? So that go ahead. Our end and say that go do well, that
To the end they might be well ordered.
right to the end that go be well ordered. As scripture says, everything done be decently and in order. Yeah. That's a good thing. Right? Come on, Ecclesiastes 4, 9 to 12.
Ecclesiastes.
The counsel is a good thing.
Ecclesiastes what?
Yahushua is the mighty counselor.
Ecclesiastes 4, you say?
Yeah, come.
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9. 2, that's the one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, says here, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up.
Yes, woe to him that is alone. Because when you're alone, your thoughts could go off. You could go off in your thoughts. The scripture says we send with words, we thoughts, and with deeds. That is why when we make a decision, we always look for counsel. When counsel is always a good thing. So don't make rash decisions, to do certain things and without counsel. Sometimes I see a brother do something and it vexes his spirit. But hey, seek counsel. You know what I mean? So yeah, this lesson was short. Just as even just for me to seek counsel, always pray. Yahweh Hashem is the greatest counselor, as the scripture says. But we ought to counsel, and as the scripture says, 2 is better than 1. So yeah, seek that counsel. Hopefully that was edifying, to the elect. And with that, we want to give all praises. Yahweh to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. When I say double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that surely rule well. And citation to the brothers that pushing this work out here in sincerity and in truth. There's 2 brothers from Trinidad. Brother Yatazak, Brother Kwam, saying Shalom.